In Indian polity, we are going to discuss about significance of fundamental rights. Okay, so here significance means importance. Okay, so there are some important features which says about the significance of the fundamental rights. So in the previous classes, we already discussed about all fundamental rights, articles 12 to 35. Okay, so in this class we are going to discuss about significance of fundamental rights. So the first one is fundamental rights are bedrock of democratic system in our Indian country. Okay, so here fundamental rights means the basic rights. Okay, so here bedrock means the fundamental principle or basic feature of the Indian constitution. Okay, so here fundamental rights are fundamental principles. Okay, so and these are the basic features of our Indian country. Okay, so basically democratic system means the equality is very important. Okay, so in the same way fundamental rights are very important in the democratic system, especially India. Okay, so because India is the largest democratic country in the world, as compared with the other countries, India is the largest democratic country because India has a high population. So irrespective of the diversities, irrespective of the differences between the people on the basis of the caste, religion, place of birth, community, etc. Okay, it means there are so many differences and diversities between the people, even though India is a democratic country. Okay, so that's why fundamental rights are bedrock principles of the democratic system of India. Okay, second one is fundamental rights are providing necessary conditions for the material and moral protection of man. Okay, so there are some important protections towards the humans, like material protection and moral protection. Even though there are some necessary conditions to get the moral protection and material protection. Okay, so it means fundamental rights are providing the important conditions for the material and moral protection of man. Okay, and third one is fundamental rights are serve as formidable bulwark of individual's liberty. Okay, here formidable means powerful and bulwark means defensive wall. Okay, so here fundamental rights are behaving it's a powerful defensive wall of individual's liberty. Okay, so each and everyone has some liberty and freedom. Okay, so that's why these fundamental rights are like a powerful defensive wall of individuals' liberty. Okay, so without fundamental rights, we cannot do anything because the important basic rights were incorporated in part 3 as fundamental rights. Okay, so next one is the established rule of law against the arbitrary law. Okay, so fundamental rights establish rule of law. Okay, so there is an arbitrary law. It means the political leaders or the important persons who are under the state government or central government, they can use their power. Okay, it means they can use their power against anyone. Okay, so on the basis of the fundamental rights, there are some important laws which are against the arbitrary law. Okay, so the important fundamental rights are against the arbitrary rule. Okay, so next important fundamental rights significance is they protect interests of the minorities and weaker sections of the society. Okay, so there are some minorities and weaker sections of the society. Okay, so the fundamental rights are providing the interests of the minorities. Okay, it can protect the interest and the importance of the fundamental rights. Okay, for example, right to equality. Okay, so before independence of India there are some inequalities. Okay, it means the OC, BC, SC, ST, there are so many social groups are there. Okay, so there is no equality between the people at present. So each and every person was equal before the law. Okay, so that's why according to the fundamental rights we have six fundamental rights and which are guaranteed by the constitution. So that's why, so there is no unequality or inequality between the persons on the basis of their background. Okay, so even though there are some persons who are comes from the weaker sections and minority groups, even though, so each and every person is equal before law. The first one is right to equality. Okay, so all are equal before law. Okay, so rule is rule, rule for all. So next important significance point is they strengthen the secular character of India. Here secular means the state never promote any religion as a state religion. Okay, because India is a secular state. Okay, so it means the secular character of the Indian country is a basic feature of the Indian constitution. Okay, so being a secular country, so there is no religion as a state or country's religion. Okay, so according to the fundamental rights, so they strengthen the secular character of India because we have the right to freedom of religion. It means we can practice any religion, we can practice and we can propagate our religion without any interference from the state or something. Okay, because religion is a matter of faith of an individuals or a community. Okay, so because India is a multicultural and multi-religious country. Okay, so that's why we have liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. Okay, so that's why according to the fundamental rights they can strengthen the secular character of India. Okay, okay, so they check the authority of government. Even the fundamental rights also can check the authority of the government, because so we are enjoying six fundamental rights. If any law which disturbs the fundamental rights, the fundamental rights can check the authority of the government also. Okay, so it means whenever government interferes in the fundamental rights, so we can oppose the government itself also, because we have the responsibility and we have the right to enjoy our all six fundamental rights. And fundamental rights to lay down the foundation for social equality and social justice. Okay, so because right to freedom of religion, right to equality, and right against exploitation. So it means according to these fundamental rights, there are some foundations for getting the social equality and social justice. Okay, and they provide a dignity and liberty of individual. Okay, so it means according to the fundamental rights we can get our dignity and liberty. Okay, so there we don't know what is dignity and liberty before the constitution, because we were insulted by the Britishers in the same way the Indian people also. Okay, so whenever we got the importance of the fundamental rights and the Indian constitution, so there is a value to our dignity and liberty. It means each and every person has dignity and liberty. Okay, so it means fundamental rights can give protection to our dignity and liberty. Okay, so the last point is they facilitate the participation of people in political and administrative process. Okay, so it means each and every person has the right to involve in the political matters and administrative process. Okay, so whatever the social group is, but we have the right to involve in the political and administrative process according to the right to cultural and educational rights. It means each and every social group has the right to form a educational institutions and right to equality. So each and every person has the right to get the employment. Okay, so not only employment, but in the political matters also we have the right to be a ruler. Okay,